What's going on YouTube? Hayden Schreier making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we'll be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum as well. And again, Ravencoin to Bitcoin. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. Otherwise, in today's video, as you saw in the title, we're going to be discussing the possible breakout of Litecoin. And, you know, will we see like a $100, $150, $200, $250 Litecoin in the near future? Will a breakout occur in 2019? Just a few topics we're going to be talking about. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at, like I said, Ravencoin and why it's doing so well yesterday and in today's video. It's now made it onto 2 videos today. So obviously, before we start, we look at the coin market cap just really quick to get a quick refresh of what happened overnight since yesterday's video. And as you guys can see, the market cap is 209.6 billion. 24-hour volume is 10.7, and then Bitcoin dominance 53.7. So a slightly lower Bitcoin dominance. We see a slightly higher 24-hour volume, and then a slightly lower market cap. So it seems like more money is leaving Bitcoin, which is why we're seeing the market cap drop. We're seeing Bitcoin dominance drop. So just scrolling down the top 10 cryptos, as you guys can see, it seems like 6 out of the 10 are having a down day. They are in red. They are negative. Bitcoin only down 0.36, Ethereum down 0.46, and then Litecoin down 1.13. Seems to be the most in the red on today's charts. Now, otherwise, the market is kind of just having another day of trading sideways. And now that means something is happening. You know, something is, you know, boiling in the pot. You know, something is cooking up. And we're going to have to figure out what exactly that is. Otherwise, Ravencoin now number 57 on the market cap. And as you guys can see, a massive surge in the price. And we're going to be talking about that in a second. 29.56%. So to move on to Litecoin. So Litecoin's graph, obviously things do look quite different from yesterday's video. And what I wanted to talk about is we are seeing a lot of stability right now within Litecoin and Bitcoin. And what I mean by that is we're seeing a lot of sideways movement, a lot of sideways trading. And when I see sideways trading, that usually indicates there's a move in play of some sort, whether bullish or bearish. Now, I have been tracking Bitcoin and Litecoin for quite some time now, and there does seem to be a very interesting pattern forming. The thing to note is I have been moving my lines ever so slightly because, like I said, it's very hard to track long-term how long this weekly, you know, descending triangle that I have drawn here formed. But what I've noticed is that in this triangle that I have right here, on Litecoin, pretty wild how much Litecoin has exploded up in price. It doesn't even fit. There we go. Litecoin went as high as like $423. Absolutely wild. But basically, to continue off where we left, let me just make this a little bit nicer for you guys. You can see how where Litecoin originally took off. It was around $56. You could say 52, 53. Pretty much where the price is of Litecoin right now. You can see the yellow line that I have drawn on the bottom is basically a representation of the bottom of Litecoin. And now one thing to note is that, yes, we have, you know, slowly spiraled down. You can see the bottom is right here. You can see how we're kind of flatlining out. You can see how in the past we had a lot of manipulation. The price moved quite a bit. You can see we had some sideways trading in the past, then we fell. So like I said, when sideways trading happens, we usually see a movement, either bearish or bullish, and then we move. And now you can see again, we're seeing a lot of consolidation right here. So ignore all the white lines here. Obviously, when we move into the 4-hour and the weekly, you don't really, sorry, the 4-hour and the daily, you don't really see those. But the sideways trading is the biggest thing to note, is the fact that we are coming to an end of this long-term massive rally, downtrend, you know, consolidation point. So that's the biggest thing that I wanted to touch upon, is the fact that we are slowly, you know, constricting in price, not seeing much movement in price at all, is usually an indication, which we have found to be the end of this, you know, descending triangle. So very interesting to see this, you know, formation happening. And honestly, we could see, you know, in, you know, November, December, definitely by 2019, I think a nice rally back up, hitting into the $200, $250, region. It's definitely possible. I think long term, crypto is very undervalued. We had a lot of negative impact in the past, and we were just soaring for too high, and it's finally time for it to come down. So the fact that we have this sideways trading, the fact that you can see the price is slowly, consolidating out, is something to note. So I definitely do think that we're going to be testing this resistance, this new resistance that I've drawn, and we're going to be breaking out of this downtrend very, very, very soon. So definitely pay attention to that. Now, I do want to just zoom in. Obviously, I think we usually look at the 4 hour, so let's just leave us on that. So the reason we look at the weekly is to look at the overall movements. Now, obviously, you can invest and short-term or day trade off of obviously the daily candles. You can do a 4 hour trade off the 4 hour, and you can do weekly off the weekly, and obviously you could make more money in the weekly because you're holding on to it more long term, or you could trade and make money off of a daily and make money in a day or two. So basically, here I am on Litecoin on the 4 hour, and hopefully you guys just notice what I have drawn here. Obviously, we have tested bottom support. You can see we've tested it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We have used this as a support, and now we are currently retracing back up, and obviously going to hit this resistance right here at the top level. So very interesting, this channel that we're kind of hanging out in right now. But trading sideways, and something is definitely cooking up. So be patient. Something is definitely about to happen. Whether we see a bullish breakout, I truly lean more towards, but it is possible for us to fall lower. I wouldn't see us going much lower than this. Moving on to Bitcoin right now, you guys can see we're currently just trading out sideways, and I showed you guys Litecoin's graph, and with Litecoin being on the weekly, we do have a very similar pattern forming on Bitcoin's weekly. So obviously, I just want to show you guys what I did. So Bitcoin, move it over to the weekly. Hopefully it loads fairly soon. Yep, there we go. Obviously, you guys can hopefully see what exactly is happening. No, I don't really need to move this much at all. You can see the downtrend that is forming right here. You can see we're having a lot of issues right over here. It is definitely possible that I might have to extend this out a little bit farther, but for the most part, you can see that this line right at 6,200 seems to be the bottom for Litecoin, and it doesn't seem like, for Bitcoin, and it doesn't seem like we're going to be going much lower than that. Obviously, it is possible, but I would bear to say it's not. Reason being is we do have our high-low MMA coming into play right now, and it is acting as a huge support, pushing this price back up. And you can see how the red band at the top is also acting as a resistance, so we're kind of hanging out in between those two levels right now. So I do think we're coming to an end of this downtrend. You can see the suppression right now, much smaller movements compared to the past, and a breakout is definitely for sure going to happen within a relatively short time. Lastly, to look at Ethereum, and then we'll finish up with Raven Coin. Obviously, with Ethereum, it's pretty much the same thing. So Ethereum is trading out sideways. For those of you who are new to the channel, we're seeing sideways momentum, sideways trading, and it is pretty much waiting for Litecoin or Bitcoin to move in the other direction, and then we should see Ethereum start to follow. Now, we are below our high-low MMA, and we are trading very nice on our relative strength indicator at around 48. So movements back up seem more likely than not. So we're definitely, I would say, a 60-40 movement back upwards than us to fall lower. But definitely looks quite nice in my opinion. We're just trading out sideways. You can see we've had it here, and now we're kind of just trading out right here. You can see we have a support at around 198.200 and our resistance at 205, pretty much where that high-low MMA is swooping in. Lastly, to end with Raven Coin. So oh my God, guys, when we saw Raven Coin yesterday, we were practically like right over here, in this region, and I was anticipating a pullback much lower. Now, interesting enough, when we have a lot of this manipulation and a lot of the retail or mainly retail investors come into the market and FOMO buy in, you can see what happens. So pretty much what happened with Bitcoin in the end of 2017 is happening to Raven Coin. You can see our massive explosion up. You can see how extremely overbought we are on our relative strength indicator, above 90, which is absolutely wild. And you can see we're way too high up, guys. And I was saying for you guys to buy in, but I was also saying expect this to pull back down. Obviously, we did come back back up, but now we are definitely due to pull back down. So I am looking to see some sort of retracement, at least back down to like this area right here where that red line is, because this seems to be some sort of resistance. But a pullback is definitely needed for Ravencoin to be stable at those price levels. But otherwise, that's going to sum up the episode for today, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you like this content and want to see more. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.